Hey there, welcome to Animated Gyan. We are on a mission to hit the big 100k. Only 3% of our viewers are actually subscribed. Subscribe now to help us feel motivated and create more such videos.
Reach for the Top, Santosh Yadav is an inspiring account of a renowned woman mountaineer, Santosh Yadav. The story depicts how she struggled against conventional prejudice and achieved the rare distinction of scaling Mount Everest twice. Let's take a look at Santosh Yadav's journey to Mount Everest. Santosh Yadav is the youngest woman in the world to scale Mount Everest. She was born to a society which valued its sons far more than its daughters. When her mother was carrying her, a holy man blessed her with a son. To his surprise, Santosh's grandmother replied that they did not want a son. The holy man, though astonished, gave his blessing and went his way. Santosh was the only daughter in a family of 5 sons. She was born in Joniawas village in the Rewari district of Haryana. The name Santosh means contentment. Santosh, however, was not content with the traditional way of life. She was determined to lead a different life from the rest of the girls in her district. She did not wear dresses like the other girls and was content with a pair of shorts. She belonged to a wealthy family who could afford to send her to a New Delhi school. However, because of tradition, Santosh was educated in the local village school. When she turned 16, she was under pressure to get married like the other girls in the village. It was at this point that Santosh took a stand. She was determined to get a proper education for herself. She refused to marry unless she received a higher education. Her parents, in turn, refused to pay for her education. Santosh then threatened to work to pay for her school education. Finally, her parents relented and sent Santosh to high school. Santosh, after completing school, decided she wanted more than just a high school education. So she applied to the Maharani College in Jaipur. Her hostel faced the Aravalli Hills. From her hostel, she would watch villagers climb the hills and vanish for some time. One day, she decided to climb one of the mountains. At the mountain, she found a few mountaineers and asked if she could join them. To her surprise, they agreed. That was the beginning of a lifelong love for mountain climbing. Santosh decided to save money and apply to the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering at Uttarkashi. She did not return home after completing her degree at Maharani College. She wrote an apology letter to her father for enrolling in Uttarkashi without his permission. Thereafter, Santosh went on expeditions every year. She developed an exceptional resistance to cold and altitude. Her iron will, physical endurance and mental toughness enabled her to prove herself in mountain climbing. She scaled Mount Everest when she was only 20 years old. It was not only her will and endurance that endeared her to other mountain climbers. It was also her compassion for others that earned her a special place among the climbers. During the Everest mission, she cared for a dying climber. She had also saved the life of another climber, Mohan Singh, by sharing her oxygen with him. 12 months after the Everest mission, she joined the Indo-Nepalese women's expedition and scaled the Everest again. She secured a unique place for herself and India in the annals of mountaineering. She was awarded the Padma Shri for her achievements. She remembers the exhilaration of being on the roof of the world. Roof of the world denotes the mountainous region of Asia. The Himalayas are part of this region. She remembers the act of planting the Indian flag at the summit of the mountain and the pride she felt during that moment. So, the story of Santosh Yadav inspires one to have the courage and determination to pursue one's dreams. Santosh is also an environmentalist. During her expeditions, she has gathered and brought down 500 kilograms of garbage bags. Reach for the Top, Maria Sharapova, is an excerpt from a newspaper. This excerpt charts the meteoric rise of tennis sensation Maria Sharapova from a young novice to number 1 in women's tennis. Here is a summary of the story, Reach for the Top, Maria Sharapova. Maria Sharapova, with her ready smile and glamorous attire, took the top position in women's tennis in 2005. She accomplished this in just 4 years of playing professional tennis. This rise in the fiercely competitive tennis world began when Sharapova was 9 years old. She and her father left Russia to travel to the United States. Her mother, Yelena, had to stay back in Russia because of visa restrictions. Maria endured a 2-year separation from her mother. This taught her the meaning of sacrifice. It also taught her that excellence required a price. During this time, she was incredibly lonely. Her father would often work late to provide for her tennis training. Every night, she would go to sleep at 8. And every night at 11, she would be woken up by the older pupils of the room. They would then order her to tidy and clean the room. This experience taught Maria determination and mental strength. She resolved to pursue her dream despite various insults and humiliations. Her strength enabled her to win the Wimbledon in 2004. The following year, she took the top spot in women's tennis. Though her journey has touched her fans, Sharapova herself has very little time for sentiment. She considers herself ambitious, competitive and hard-working. She also considers the sacrifices she made to be worth it. Sharapova considered herself both American and Russian. Even though her American accent is flawless, she is very proud of her Russian nationality. She has declared that she would play for Russia in the Olympics if they would have her. Maria's hobbies are like that of any typical teenager: fashion, singing and dancing. She also loves to read Arthur Conan Doyle and indulge in pancakes, frizzy drinks and chocolate spread. Maria Sharapova's desire to succeed has made her the best in the world. She is a category by herself. While Sharapova is more than happy to earn money, she is more motivated with being the #1 tennis player in the world.